welcome to Three Nerds Deep. My name is Adam, and I am joined, as always, by Andrew and Andy. So, hello, nerds.
You're hello.
All right. Welcome to the podcast. Today we are going to be talking about some D&D character ideas that we have for a potential one-shot that we have talked about doing and recording for the podcast.
It's weird not having a list.
Right?
But we're going to do it.
Right. We're just going to have to vamp.
We're going to just keep going.
Exactly.
And what we're going to be doing with the D&D one shot is we're going to have AI DM.
That's the plan. We're going to try it, see how it goes.
We might bring in somebody special to come and just read AI so you don't hear just our voices being awful.
Exactly.
But we don't know what that's going to look like yet.
Yep, it's all in plans in the works, but we thought it'd be fun to go through our ideas for some not silly characters. We've all played D&D together for a while, but I don't know if we've ever made more comedic, less serious characters. We've had some funny characters and some funny moments even with those characters, but
Andrew's made a silly character before.
Most of my characters are silly characters.
Right. Well, I mean, you did make one that was just for laughs. Like, there's no...
I mean, Tohik is originally...
I feel like...
his path changed.
I feel like you played him.
He became
more
a very
comedic
serious character.
Yeah.
There's development.
Yeah.
But most of my characters are pretty ridiculous at the start.
Yeah. So we're going to go through... We each made 3 characters to kind of talk about for a potential one-shot. I'll be honest, all mine are based off of movie characters, TV characters, or fictionalized version of historical characters. So that's kind of the vibe I went with. I don't know who wants to go first. Who wants the honors of going first?
How would you say you created yours, Andy? Adam's basing his off of characters that he loves and cherishes.
Yeah, so one of them is a idea I had for a character. Actually, when we were making characters for, I think it was your campaign that you're DMing, Andrew.
Oh, okay.
And I just really liked it, liked the concept. Ended up picking something else. And then another one is, I don't know. It's just, I was like trying to think of what's the easiest like role playing I could do, and so I created one of my characters for that. Because in theory it should be really easy to role play as them. Because, yeah. And then the third one, it's a idea I've tossed around. I've told you guys about it before in the past, but yeah. So like I didn't base it off of anybody. I didn't base it off of yeah. So
yeah, I couldn't help but base mine off of these. I was just thinking of like what would be kind of a fun, silly, maybe not silly, but they can be silly characters. But one is, but
one's very silly.
Well, just
is that what you're saying?
Not super silly, but like it's from like a kid's movie. We'll say that.
Well, okay.
So, do you want to? I don't know who wants to go.
Do you want to just do one at a time and go around in a circle?
Who wants to go first? I can go first if you want.
I want you to go first.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with the last
Oh.
character I made.
Aren't these characters with the intent, right? So are we also picking? Are we going to vote on which character you think you? How are we going to do this?
I'm not sure.
I think
Like-
maybe
I
we
think what we should do
maybe we
is
put
we
a
should
poll.
we could put up a poll. We could have
See if
people
our
comment.
like 8 different viewers what they think.
I do love it when you put up a poll, but I don't know if that's going to be a large enough poll for us to get the responses out of it that we want. That's my concern.
My poll is plenty large.
And then we can discuss it. We don't need to make any decisions tonight because it's probably going to be a couple weeks probably before we even
attempt it.
Right. Attempt it. We
Oh,
still
do
got things to figure out.
Yeah. But-
logistics.
Yeah. So, anyway, moving on to our first character of the night. And surprisingly, I did not make a paladin.
Oh.
Paladins are my favorite class, but I did not make one. I thought about trying to figure out a way to make this particular character a paladin, but I just couldn't figure it out. It didn't make sense. But you all know and love him. He's got a best friend who's a donkey. He's married to a lovely wife. He's big. He's green. I made Shrek.
All right, how did you class this guy?
So
How-
I started off with a homebrewed ogre race. So how the person made the homebrewed ogre race is they get a +4 to either strength or the constitution when you make him, and he gets +2 to, and then the other one is +2 to either strength or constitution, and then -4 to either wisdom, charisma, or intelligence. Luckily, I rolled very well because Shrek's not dumb.
wow. Yeah, that's true.
So I spec'd him as a fighter. I guess I could read you his stats. So his strength is a 20. His dex is 11, which doesn't quite fit. He's pretty dexterous for a large guy, at least in the first movie. Like, you know. And then
I suppose.
he's got a 21 constitution because it kind of bent the rules because ogres are strong and, you know,
Right.
all that stuff. So I know that there's magical items that you can use to, like, you know, get higher stats, but his intelligence is a 10 and his wisdom is a 10 and his charisma is a 12. So I made him a fighter. I made his subclass because we did these at level 5s just so everybody knows. That way we could kind of get into the more customization part of it.
Oh yeah.
Especially if we're going to
That's
do a one-shot, you know. If you do a level 1 one-shot, everybody's going to die in it. Just more than so I gave him the champion subclass. And then his fighting style, I did unarmed fighting. Because he never really uses weapons. I mean, he does smack somebody with a chair in the first movie. Which I did think, and did I give it? Yeah, I gave him the feat Tavern Brawler, so he can use improvised weapons.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of almost like because he's already can hit unarmed very well. Tavern Brawler's kind of almost worthless, except for the fact that he gets like proficiency with
Improvised weapons.
Yeah, improvised weapons, which I feel like is very fitting for a Shrek character. And he's also obviously he's good at animal handling. That's one of his skills. And he's got a talking pet donkey named Donkey. In his background, I put a mercenary veteran because, Farquaad does hire him to save a princess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm pretty satisfied with it. He's probably my least satisfied because, I was really struggling with the class. I almost went barbarian, but then I'm like, he's not really angry when he fights. In the first, I always picture the first movie when he's fighting the knights. He's not angry doing that. He's just...
I always think he's having a good time.
Exactly. So, unless he can, homebrew it and play it off that he's joyful when he fights. I don't know, but it was... And then, I thought about a monk, too, but that just didn't fit either. I almost tried to squeeze him in, a paladin, because there is, when he goes and rescues Fiona, he does put on armor, but it didn't fit right. Plus, could you imagine a fully armored ogre, just head to toe?
I mean, technically, he did wear armor when he was rescuing Fiona.
Right, but then it's and then you gotta go in the oaths, and I'm I guess he could have an oath of, what would it be, vengeance, or the oath of is it the ancients that's supposed to protect nature or something? Yeah.
Oath of Ancients would work really good for Shrek.
Right, but he's more of just get out of me swamp. I don't know, I had trouble trying to figure it out. So I made him a fighter. Yeah, and to be honest, I'm probably the least satisfied with this character making it, but I thought it was fun trying to make Shrek.
Mm-hmm. I enjoy it. I think that's fun.
Yeah. All right, who's next? Who wants to go next?
Andy, go ahead.
Okay.
We'll do this. We'll do a snake maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, for my Discord, it's a circle.
Right.
Or a triangle.
So, for mine, this is one that I've mentioned before to other people, and I like this idea. Kind of putting my own spin on a bard character. This character, I don't have a name for him yet, but he's a mountain dwarf, College of Eloquence, but he's kind of like a failed comedian.
Oh yeah.
He's not super good at...
So you just made yourself, right?
He's
exactly. Not funny.
I just made myself. He's not very good at the whole entertaining people. And again, I don't have the whole backstory fleshed out, but I'm just picturing some guy who just tells dad jokes and all that stuff, and sling some spells if he needs to. But yeah, like I said, it's just something I've thought of doing before in the past. Maybe I have to work out some mechanic stuff before we actually were to play. I picked a dwarf because I don't picture dwarves as bards very much, which is I think leads into the whole not being very good at his preferred profession.
Right. Dwarves are mainly portrayed as grumpy, and
there's something in my soul that makes me already chuckle at a failed comedian dwarf.
So
it's I just see this bald bearded guy up on stage being like, so you guys know about rocks? That's where I'm
exactly.
At,
so because he's a failed comedian, I didn't give him because bards, their main stat is supposed to be charisma. His main stat is not charisma. It's only a 14 charisma, which is pretty good. But his highest stat, I might change it. I've got options. I could change it. but I actually rolled pretty good for his stats. But his highest is strength of 16, constitution of 15, intelligence of 15,
Dang, you did
charisma of
roll.
14, dex of 10, and wisdom of 10. I might switch the wisdom and the charisma around. Give him a charisma of 10 as a failed comedian.
Yeah.
Or I might just re-roll to spice it up a little bit. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
like I said,
yeah,
I'm just picturing...
if you do that, like, his spells are going to be so bad. He's never going to, like, hit anything. Everybody's going to, like, make their saves. Like, it's
That
just
might be the point. That might be
right,
the point.
but it's just crazy.
Like,
It's like when you're
not
so used to, like, maxing out, you know,
trying
and
to maximize and optimize your
Right,
character,
to,
and all
like,
of a sudden you're like, I'm
actively make a character that's going to be horrible at what he's supposed to be good at is crazy.
yeah. Especially because, like, then he wouldn't be very good.
I like it.
He wouldn't be very good at, like, the charisma stuff that is a bard is supposed to do. Like, he might act like he's good at it, but he's
Right?
not.
He'd be a lot like Mollymock, right? Because didn't
Well, Molly was supposed to be charismatic. He just rolled badly.
right, but
in
like it
Critical
end
Role.
up very similar where he's like, how did Taliesin describe him? He's like a carny, like
Yeah.
who just
Yeah.
who thinks he's all like he's smooth talking, but he just fails every time.
Yep.
Something along those lines.
Nice, I like it.
So that's my first character. Andrew, what about your first character?
Oh my gosh. See, I'm just trying to think of which one of my characters would go well with yours, because mine are all kind of in the same case of just like fun ideas to play as. And I've already have a story for them. I just haven't typed it out, because that's what I do. I write books for my characters that nobody cares to read.
I do, Andrew.
Oh, thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
When I was your
This is-
DM, I enjoyed your backstories.
This is my problem as DM, is I
See,
will
that's-
write characters and I will come up with my backstories, and I'm like, nobody will read this but me. This is
See,
just me.
So
Yeah,
I
I
keep
know.
my backstory open-ended to give the DM more freedom.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, no, I get it. And I think there's a beautiful place in all of Dungeons and Dragons and role-playing games for both, and
Right.
anything in between.
Like when
Okay.
Raymond's character had a brother that he vaguely mentioned, and then I turned it into a tragic
Yeah.
thing.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
fun.
Okay. Oh, which one of these do I think would be funny? Okay, actually, I'll go with this one, because it might be my favorite. It might be my favorite. I might be starting off too high. So the person this is his name is Brew Stonebeard, and he is joining this campaign as a rogue. And Bruce Stonebeard is not your typical rogue. He did not grow up on the streets or anything like that. He grew up in a very wealthy family, very wealthy castle, had all the things. And he was quickly told at a young age, when he asked about being quiet, how quiet he could be. And they were like, wow, you're really stealthy. Like, we can't see you anywhere. And so he just kind of developed from his childhood of this understanding that he's really, really stealthy. And just people can't find him. And he would sneak up on people and all this stuff. And they would always be surprised. And so he just decided one day, even though he's rich, he doesn't need the money, he was just going to go and be an adventuring thief out there just to steal things from people, because he is so good at being stealthy and all this stuff.
So he's like the opposite of the Green Hornet,
Right.
like
Except
Seth
Okay.
Rogen's Green Hornet. He's just doing it because he's wealthy and can.
right. Except there's one problem. Actually, it's not as big a problem because I rolled way too well for this guy. I was really mad at how well I rolled because I really didn't want to roll this well. Which kind of knocks him down a little bit. So, being a rogue, you would think his top stat is dexterity. Instead, it's charisma. Because he's been told his whole life that he's really good at these things, but he's at being sneaky and stuff. But he's actually very good at just lying and telling people what to do for him and being intimidating in that regard. But his dexterity's 14. And so, unfortunately, I actually wanted it to be lower than that, but it's not. And I rolled too well. So, like, he's got a plus 2 in stealth, and he's not even proficient in it. Like, all these people were lying to him as a child. But he thinks he's really sneaky and will totally volunteer himself because he thinks he's never going to get caught, despite the fact he's awful at being sneaky.
Right. Nice.
And besides that, he's also very intelligent, but not very wise. His two highest stats are intelligence and charisma. And his wisdom is his lowest stat. But it's still at +1. So I liked the idea of him. Unfortunately, I rolled way too well, and this joke character could very well just be way too good.
Right.
And so it hurt my heart because I really liked the idea of having just this plain old average Joe rich boy just decide he wants to go and be a thief, and he's just not good at it. And he has to learn how to accept that. Unfortunately, he's pretty good at everything.
Well, you could just
I've never
knock off some points. No one would judge you. It's not like you're cheating by adding points.
It's true. I've never been so disappointed with how well I rolled on a character
Right?
than I was when I was rolling for this guy. Like, it's a +2 in strength, +2 in dexterity, +2 in constitution, +4 in intelligence, +1 in wisdom, and +5 in charisma. Which I was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And I did rolls twice, and I tried to pick the lower of the two. The other roll was just way too good.
Right.
So this was the lesser of the two rolls. I couldn't believe I rolled so well twice. And favorite things about him is he is quirky. Like, he just speaks Celestial and Elvish because he was taught that. He carries around a dragon chess board because he thinks that's fun. Like, everybody just wants to sit down and play dragon chess. And he's also very lonely and doesn't have a lot of friends because he was essentially he grew up in a castle by himself.
Oh, man. Nice.
And he's got very much only child syndrome, where it's like, why aren't you guys doing things my way? He also is very high in history because all he would do is read random history books on random facts that he found were interesting, but nothing really important.
I feel attacked with that one.
Yeah. Like, his character set is either for a wizard or could be for a wizard or for a bard, and he decides, no, I want to be the dark, stealthy guy. So he also dresses in a way that pretends to be like an emo person, but he doesn't understand at all. So he'll act all dark and depressed, like, oh, my life was the worst. You don't even understand. Meanwhile, he has a hard time with being outside when it's raining a little bit.
I don't suppose he watches a lot of anime either, does he?
Oh,
Not that there's anything wrong
only
with
one.
that. I like anime
He
too.
likes
but-
Panic at the Disco or whatever.
He doesn't even know
No,
who they are,
I-
but he's heard
Panic at
the
the
name
Disco.
before. He thinks that was something that happened in his parents' life. So he doesn't know. But that's Bruce Stonebeard. And I liked that name because what rogue has that kind of strong name?
What did you say? What race he was?
Oh, he's just an average human. Like he's not
Okay.
even a variant human. He's just plain Joe.
See, I was assuming he was a dwarf with the
Right,
name
the Stonebeard.
Stonebeard.
Exactly. He's not. He's just human.
Nice.
This guy, it's so like, wait, who's Bruce Stonebeard? He's like, oh, he's that guy that's trying to sneak in the corner. And it's some human with an emo cut and dark black leathers on, who's just like, you can't see me. I'm John Cena. Anyway, that's my character that I was disappointed with rolled so well. Anyway,
Well, no one would judge
I
you
guess
if you knocked off some points.
I would have to knock off a lot of points. And then I'd be accused of
We just do
I would there's other
a
characters in
blanket
here
like
that could be just as fun to
-2
play.
to all your stats because he's dumb. Just have a little note.
Yeah.
He's dumb, so -2
He's-
to everything.
Yeah. He rolls with disadvantage for everything. He has no real training. Okay. Andy or Adam, whoever wants to go next.
I think
Maybe
Adam's
Adam
next.
this time, right? All right, Adam.
Hold on,
How are you going to
my-
follow Shrek?
hold on. So I got to pull up. I think on my computer for some reason, my phone stopped working. My D&D
Can't
Beyond app
trust that.
stopped working. It won't load. I don't know why.
This episode of 3 and D is brought to you by D&D Beyond, even though it's not at all. You're welcome. Once again, free advertising.
Exactly. All right, so my next character is based off of a TV show character. I think all three of us know and love him. He is a ambiguous character. Lives in a blue police phone booth. We have
Oh, gosh.
the Doctor.
Yeah.
Or my
You made
take.
the doctor.
My take on what the Doctor would be.
Something tells me it's not going to live up to the expectations.
I think it's pretty good, but it may not.
All right, let's hear it.
So my Doctor, I used a variant human, even though technically he's not human, but I thought that was the best way to portray him being, having human. He looks like a human. He's just not a human. And this, I believe, the best way to describe the Doctor is with the class of Rogue.
Really?
Yes.
No,
Interesting. Okay.
I think that was your first mistake.
What would you have put
Well,
him
let-
as?
Let him cook.
Clockwork,
Let
Soul,
him cook.
or Time Wizard or whatever.
No. No.
He's a Time Lord.
Yeah, but because he has the
Explain
time
yourself.
machine.
Just explain yourself.
All right.
All right.
So, I have him as a rogue, and specifically the subclass of the Inquisitive? Inquisitive, because he likes to go around and he likes to view things. He also has proficiencies in deception, sleight of hand, intimidation, investigation. Like I said, he's the inquisitive. He's got an eye for detail, insightful fighting. Sounds a lot like the Doctor. Ear for deceit. I have for ability. Yeah. So I also have him background as a soldier. For fighting in the Time Wars.
Oh, yep. That tracks.
With, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in my brain, he is a rogue. Like, he's got a magical screwdriver that gets him into any door he wants, hence a rogue. Hence,
He did steal the TARDIS.
exactly. Like, he's just roguish. And I have him, like, his stats are very, like, he has a high dex, but it's not his highest. I don't have it as his highest. His highest is, actually, I do have it. So his dex sorry, I forgot. I switched him.
You have his dex higher than intelligence?
But not by much. Like, his dex, and mainly it's because of the fact that I wanted it so, like, he can unlock doors way easier because magic, he's got the thing that lets him in.
Sonic screwdriver?
Yeah, sonic screwdriver. It literally
Doesn't
lets
work
him
on wood,
indoors.
though.
That's true. But so, like, I had the dex high. His intelligence is number 2. I rolled mostly pretty good. His strength I have as a 9. Dex is a 18. Con is a 12. Intelligence is a 17. Wisdom is a 13. And charisma is a 13. I forgot, with his variant human, the feat I chose was lucky.
That tricks. Yeah.
I do believe the doctor is very, very lucky. Yeah, I just, in my brain, the doctor is a rogue. I could see like an argument for like maybe
that.
And yeah, maybe you could, like, but yeah, level 5, like, in my opinion, you need to do, like, first 5 levels of any character should be of like one class. But, like, yeah, I mean, you could easily,
there's got to be some artificer in there,
right? For sure, and that's why I was toying with artificer or a rogue. But in my brain, rogue fits more. Like, yes, he creates things. Yes, he, but, like, it's more of like he's getting into shenanigans. That's all the show is most of the time. He gets in the shenanigans. He talks his way out. He fights his way out, but he's just getting into trouble.
You could almost say he's a ranger, but like the Gloomstalker ranger.
I mean, maybe.
Almost. Only because he's not a very good fighter. And he does have companions with him.
Right. But, like, I just think the rogue, like, stat set and abilities that come...
Gloomstalker doesn't have that.
Yeah. Like, in my brain, and in my opinion, like, the rogue, like, stats, the abilities you get, he seems very much more roguish. But not like a villain rogue. Like, he's just, like, part of me was tempted to do swashbuckling, but, like, he doesn't really fight, but, like, he just has that, like, kind of like swagger with him, especially depending on who's playing him as the doctor. Like, granted, I haven't watched all the doctors, but, like, between David Tennant and Matt Smith and Eccleston, like, I feel he's very roguish. I feel like Eccleston is very much rogue. Matt Smith, or not, David Tennant, I feel like is could be a rogue, or I feel like.
Would you call, if we played as this guy, would you call him the Doctor, or does he have a different name?
No, he'd be the Doctor.
He'd be called the Doctor.
Yeah, he'd show up, magical blue box or whatever, and show up for the adventure. Would be my idea.
All right,
I'd have to, like,
fantastic.
homebrew, like, some kind of sonic screwdriver thing.
It's just you just call it the sonic screwdriver, and it's just thieves' tools.
That's true.
Well, I mean, if you could get the spell knock, that would be.
He can't. He's a rogue.
All right.
Unless he has a magical
this...
item that has knock.
That's true.
Yeah, just give yourself that.
Because the doctor is not
wood.
magical. So
it doesn't work on wood.
So to me, it makes sense that he would not have magical abilities because he is.
This is
not
why
magical.
there's such an argument for Artificer, though, too.
Yeah, but
Because,
that uses a
he's
ton
got
of magic.
all the gadgets. Yeah, but magic, science. I mean, when we're talking sci-fi, what's the difference at this point? Like,
I mean, you're not
he's
wrong.
got a piece of paper that people can just, they look at it and all of a sudden they understand.
I know. I almost gave him
who he
a
is.
forgery kit, but I gave him Tinker's tools and Thieves' tools.
Yeah.
But I'm like, a
Forgery
forgery
kit
kit would
might
also fit. Like,
make
all of
sense.
them just fit. Like,
Yep.
So, yep, that's my second character.
That one would be tough to play as, I feel. You would
Yeah.
also have to talk in your English accent, which we also know is not great.
Right, but neither is my Scottish accent for Shrek. So
Yeah, but that was done by an American Canadian. So, I mean, it's forgivable.
yeah, yep.
All right. Andy, I think you're up, dude.
Okay. So the second character that I came up with, let me look. Where is he at? So this character was mainly, I thought of this character a while ago, but he's a wood elf druid, and he's kind of like a stoner druid. Very much
Tracks.
like, what's going on, guys? I don't know. Wait, what were we talking about? That kind of character. Mostly because that's how I am, even though I've never done any kind of drug before. I get distracted, especially during D&D sessions where it's like, wait, what just happened? So it'd be very realistic.
Well, then nothing would ever get done because you're distracted. Your character's not paying
Yeah,
attention. Like,
Andy perpetually just trying to make a character so he doesn't have to take notes.
dude,
I mean,
Andy,
I
you
never
might be
take
the
notes.
laziest D&D player ever.
The only thing I will say about not taking notes is in our D&D sessions, I usually remember the stuff
Yeah,
way better
sure.
than the people who take notes.
Well,
Not
if
always,
we're honest, I don't know how many people in our D&D sections actually take notes.
I think very little of them. I take notes in the campaign Andrew's DMing.
I do too.
Yeah, it's 'cause
I have
you
casters
have to.
notes.
And then
I took notes all the time. Then I started DMing, and then I have way too many notes all on my own.
Right.
and then
Raymond takes
when
notes.
Yeah, Raymond takes
when I
notes.
played Aragash, my half-orc barbarian character, I didn't take notes because he's a barbarian. He's not supposed to remember anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this
The tuna
character, like I
can
said,
got
he's
in
a
the way.
druid.
Stop
He's a circle of the moon druid. The way I kind of play it is like he got kicked out of his circle because he's too spacey, too a danger to everybody else because they put
He
him
brought
on
pot
like
brownies to the potluck and it didn't go
He's
well.
not
Nice. Something like that, something along those lines.
Got
Oh,
the elder
night
high
went
and
well. The night
And-
went well. It was the afterwards that was like, what happened?
he woke
Who
up
was
next
that?
to the
Exactly.
he woke up
So like
in a room next to the elder. Not sure what happened.
I think he'd be a perfect pairing with Adam's Shrek character. But like I said, I thought of this idea a while ago, and my hardest thing to figure out was what like circle. I thought of circle spores, but that was more of like decaying stuff, and he's not really that way. I
Right.
just picked Circle of the Moon just because I don't know. He stays up late looking at the moon. I don't know. Like it's
He's really contemplating his druidic choices.
Be hilarious if
Exactly.
he had like third wall breaks. Is like just as he's staring at the moon, just what am I even doing here? Like, what is Andy even thinking? Like,
Exactly.
He just starts
Yeah.
detecting thoughts on himself just to see what happens. He hears his
Well,
own
his
echo.
Tries to hear his
wild
conscious.
shape of choice is a sloth.
His what?
His wild shape of choice is a
Oh.
sloth.
Nice. Nice. The most
It's my
useless
favorite.
animal in
That's-
the world.
Did you give this character a name yet? Because the name,
Yeah, it's Leo Barrows.
Leo Barrows.
All
What
one
did you
name.
say his
It's
species
just one
is?
word. He's a wood
Wheelbarrows.
elf.
He's a
Leo
wood elf.
Barrows.
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
Oh
it's
my
a good
God.
thing it's not Skyrim. Wood elves are cannibals in Skyrim. Like a hippie, stoned out
I mean,
cannibal.
if he gets the munchies, can't say what could happen. You know, maybe that's why he got kicked out. He started nibbling on his friends.
That's what it was. He was not taking the right type of herbal mix that day. Gosh, that one's pretty fantastic. I think I like that one a lot there, Andy.
Yeah, that is
I
a
like
good one.
the idea. I feel like you would voice him like Suntree from Critical Role.
What's going on?
Hey guys.
All right.
No, you just
Yeah.
just channel Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, just channel them, call them in.
From Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Those are rookie numbers. Gotta pump them up.
Okay. My character, my next one is yeah, I'll do this one. I'll do Niv of New. Fun fact, I've never played a paladin, so I think this would be fun. So I picked a paladin. His name is Niv of New. He is of the order of not order. What are they called? What is it when you're a paladin? Notice once again, I would like to start with saying I've never played Oath. Excuse me. He is in the Oath of Glory, so he believes that him and his party are very much like they're bound for glory. He was sent on this quest for glory. He was a
This one fits for my third character pretty well.
Yeah.
They would get along.
He is a he comes from his past as a soldier, and he was one of the best soldiers of his tribe, which is the News, and he was bolstered for his strength and his way of rallying people together, and so yeah, Oath of Glory uses a lot of divine spells and stuff like. He's got that divine smite.
Well, obviously, a paladin can't leave home without it.
Right, can't leave home without it. But here's the big trick of him. Is he is he's also donned fully in armor, has a shield, and wields a war pick. He is a 3 foot 30-pound kobold.
Nice.
That has just kind of and he is strong. He's got a +3 in strength, and he's pretty charismatic. He's a +2 in charisma. But besides that, he's just a normal guy. He's +0 in everything else.
Nice.
And so he's just out here cheering everybody on and telling everybody, like, we can go and do this. And let's go and fight. Like, we can do this. We've got this, guys. But he's probably going to die. Like, he is not... he does not have much going for him. He also is just walking around in a giant suit of armor. So he's not even quiet. He's not even trying to be sneaky.
Right.
and it's like a 3-foot baby walking up to you and threatening you with a shield and a war pick. So
Nice.
this is a character I put in a one shot solely for the purpose of like he's probably gonna die, and we're just gonna have to live on with his name.
Right.
'Cause he's a kobold.
Nice. I like it.
Yep, it's good. I like it too.
He's just this guy with this
Let's go, guys. Welcome to it.
type of a voice.
Nice.
So it would suck to do that for a full episode the whole time, but I would commit to the voice.
It'd be fun. Yeah.
So
Like it.
that's it. I also thought if I didn't make him a paladin was to make him a gunslinger, and he just carries around a shotgun and calls it a boomstick.
That,
I thought you were gonna base him off of Rango.
Oh, that would be a good. That
That
sounds
would
like
be
another
good.
character.
that
we
would
should
be a
make.
good character.
That'd be a good character to make.
Oh man, Rango. What a good movie.
I've only seen that movie like once.
It's good though.
I don't.
I've seen it a couple of times, but it's been a minute.
Yeah.
They shot it very interestingly.
Right.
hmm
Yeah, good movie.
All right, I think Adam. We're ready for your third character.
All right, my third
Yeah,
character.
we are in the round of threes now.
Yep, my third and arguably probably I think what would be my go-to one out of the three of these, and my favorite one out of these would be the former. He was a former commissioner of New York City. He was a Rough Rider, leader of the Rough Riders, former president of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. Good old Teddy.
Oh
Roosevelt.
my goodness!
Oh gosh! All right.
This is
What's
like
the build?
this was my favorite build for sure. So he's a fighter. I feel like that's obvious. Oh wait, hold on. I had him pulled up. I need a new computer. My computer's dumb. But anyway. Good old Theodore Roosevelt. I've actually made him before, but I did not like him before. So he is a human fighter. I have him with the I think it's so his fighting style is archery. That way he could, he uses ranged weapons. Get that +2 bonus for ranged weapons. His martial archetype is a cavalier. Felt that him being on a horse a lot fit very well.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him the gunner feat so that he can use his guns within 5 feet. He ignores loading property. I also made him a variant human just because I prefer variant humans because they give you a little bit more customization options, which I used to increase his constitution score and his charisma score. And then I gave him the fighting initiative feat, and gave him unarmed fighting because good old Theodore Roosevelt was known for boxing people in the White House when he was president.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I gave him his abilities are, I gave him a strength of 17. He's got a dex of 13. His constitution's a 15. His intelligence is 11, which he was probably actually smarter than that, but I had to put it somewhere. Wisdom is a 10, and charisma is a 14.
What did you say his intelligence was?
11. He has a shotgun and a revolver. And I also kind of based on what I pictured him and how playing him would be Robin Williams' portrayal from Night of the Museum. Lots of
Yes.
inspirational quotes, lots of like formal speech, calling people by longer names than their actual name, like Lawrence. And yeah, I
So
just think
you're gonna be
Just giving made up
channeling your
longer
Robin
names.
Williams.
huh?
You're gonna be channeling Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt.
Well, really, Robin Williams only did a slightly exaggerated version of the way Teddy Roosevelt's been portrayed. Theodore Roosevelt
like
is
the
literally
idea.
like my favorite historical figure. His life is so interesting. He was literally a D&D adventurer. Like he
wanted all the side quests.
yeah, he
He's
went on
like-
all the side quests. He was commissioner in New York. He became a marshal out in where was it? Like Montana or something for years. He became worked in the government, and then he joined the Rough Riders. Like he just and I
I
think
read
he would,
somewhere he also read like 3 to 6 books a day, something ridiculous
Yeah.
like that, and he would read them
Oh,
at the same time.
Didn't he create the Rough Riders because they wouldn't let him join the military? So he just created his own little band. I don't know
I
if
mean, he
that's
volunteered.
100% historically accurate.
No,
but
I think kind of, because he wanted to be in command, and I'm pretty sure he still technically was in command. I think he was the second in command of the Rough Riders, but he was pretty much in command. But there's technically somebody above him, and if I remember correctly, he created that so that he could go to war and fight in the Spanish-American War. He also was one of the founders of working out, like, just working out, because Theodore Roosevelt was a very sickly child, had a lot of lung issues, a lot of things like that. Like his dad sent him all over he sent him down south. That's supposed to be better for your lungs. And when he got shot, which I think he got shot twice. One of the times he got shot, it was said he was literally saved because he had so many muscles in his chest that literally helped stop. And granted, and it just helped stop the bullet.
that sounds made up.
Dude, no, because it might be made up, but I mean that's what was said, because it was not a high caliber bullet, and
That sounds like something that somebody tells somebody that when you're hitting on them, be like, man, you have all them muscles in your chest. That's why you're,
maybe. But he was known for being very strong.
If we've
And-
learned anything about Adam in this podcast, is he really likes 2 people: Scarlett Johansson and Theodore Roosevelt.
I mean, so far, yeah. It's
Dude, could
that's
you
what he's
imagine?
talked about the most.
We've had 4
Could you imagine?
episodes.
Could you imagine if Scarlett Johansson got shot and all the muscles in her chest saved her? Like, what would Adam do with his life at that point in time? He'd be like, I got to rethink everything and just pursue Scarlett
Anyway.
Johansson for the rest of my life.
No. Anyway, I'm
Moving
happily
on.
married, very happily married. But
You
no,
would take your wife with you. She'd be like, you gotta
but anyway,
sorry, Tree.
Theodore I just think it would be fun to try and play him, because he was the D&D adventurer in real life.
Yeah, he was.
It just, and like
Possibly
playing
the
him
last.
as a slightly goofier version of himself that like Robin Williams had, I think would be fun. I love the quote that was said about him is he died in his sleep, and it said death took him in his sleep because he was too afraid to try and take him while he was awake. Love it.
Yeah.
And then also like the fact when he got shot, he didn't go to the hospital or nothing. He continued to give like a hour-long speech after being shot. Like, he's a beast.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that's my last character. I think it'd be real fun to play. Like, he's got, his skills and stuff. Like it's animal handling, athletics. I think persuasion and performance I have as top ones because he is known for being also very good. What is that word called? Orator, the fancy word for speaker. Yeah. The only thing is, I did not give him a high dex, so he's probably not, most efficiently built for, using his guns, but he was like, that's the time
With
he
a
lived
shotgun,
in.
you don't need to be fast.
But in D&D, you
Or
still got to
accurate.
roll well. In D&D, if it was accurate, blunderbuss and shotguns would never miss. They'd always do some kind of damage.
Which maybe that needs to be looked at. If you're up close, if you're at a range where
If you're
you're
within-
5 feet away,
Right.
don't you negate that though? Like,
Yeah.
Didn't you put that as a feat?
Well, yeah, no disadvantage within 5 feet.
All right.
Yeah, that's the thing that always. Granted, a lot
You
of
should get
DMs
advantage
don't even
with a
allow
blunderbuss.
guns.
Huh? What'd you say, Andrew?
I just said, like, even with a blunderbuss.
Right.
Yeah, you should get advantage.
Well, that's because
within 5 feet.
D&D was
'Cause-
initially made with no guns, so it's very hard to shoot a bow when you're in melee combat. Like that's the thing is like
Which I get, but even if you accidentally shoot a blunderbuss at somebody,
right,
it's gonna hit them.
like a blunderbuss
if-
would literally blow people apart. Like
Yeah, like oops, you
Dude,
just
they used
lost
to
your
pack
whole
those
arm.
things
At least
full
you're
of
not
random
dead.
crap.
yeah,
Talk
All
about
right.
historical stuff. They would just throw anything metal in the end of the blunderbuss and be like, "Man, this will hurt somebody," and then shoot it off.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, hey, my kid's little, lead toy soldier. Yeah, that's going in there." Oh, hey, this nail. Yep, that's going in there too. Oh, an actual musket ball. Yeah, I might as well throw that in there too. Anyway.
All right, Andy, I think it's your third character.
It is my third character. So this
Your
is a
final.
character that I love, and I'm technically using this character in a campaign. Sorry. In a campaign that my wife is DMing, but I just like him. He's like so fun. His name is Tarwick Bigman. He is a halfling, arcane trickster rogue
Oh, you've talked about
who
this
has convinced a lot of people that he is a very powerful wizard,
nice.
and he makes his living by pretending to be a wizard and solving people's problems, solving in quotations.
Nice.
And just he's not a bad guy. He's
He's a con artist.
just a con artist. He's a con man. He a lot of times he will help like people less fortunate, usually by conning really rich people. Depending on what the session is, usually I have his backstory. He's on the run because there's a really rich and powerful lord that he conned out of a lot of money. Like the way I've made him, he's got a big pointy hat, kind of like Gandalf.
Is
But
it the
and he
same
wears
size as his body?
it's a little oversized, Not doesn't fit him super well. He wears like wizarding robes, but then he's also got like leather armor under that with like a couple of mini crossbows kind of tucked away that you can't see. Like I said, I've done so much with this character. Like he's one of the most fleshed out backstories. I even have considered making a children's book about Tarwick Bigman. That's how much I love this guy. Like a young, like a third
children's
grade.
book about a con man?
I mean, you gotta
That's
teach them early.
concerning.
I mean, you
You'd
gotta
have
teach them early.
to you'd have to word it a little bit differently, but like more like a, I don't know, like 5th to 6th grade, like chapter book type of thing.
I mean, con men are everywhere, Andrew. They gotta learn sometime.
Gotta learn sometime, but they're usually
But
not portrayed as a hero.
If I ever used him as like a con man or as a children's novel like
Yeah.
character, he would not be just a straight up con man. It'd be a little
He'd
bit.
be a
It'd be a little
reformed
bit
con
different.
man.
But anyway, like I said, I love this character. I love the big oversized wizard hat. I like that his last name's Big Man, even though he's a
Oh, I
halfling.
love it. It's
Like,
such a
it's
good
like-
name.
So
Okay. So it's my final character now.
Yes, sir.
yep.
All right. So this one it was the first idea I had. Possibly my favorite. I think it's my favorite. Based off of how stats played. I really like Bruce Stonebeards, but I think this one might be my favorite because of the roles. His name is Krakis Krivrin. He is a musician.
Did you mean it to sound that way, or was
Listen,
that an accident?
Don't worry about it. No, you gotta let me finish. He is. I lost Adam. I can't keep going. I can't watch you, man. All right.
Adam, turn off your camera.
Krakis Griffin.
What a name!
Anyway. He's a musician that has been playing many instruments his whole life and has gotten really good at them. He is also a dragonborn and has had a hard time finding work as that because people don't really think dragonborns are going to be skilled musicians, but he really is. He's a very good musician. And like he's been studying since he was a child, like infancy, prodigy, this guy. Unfortunately, he is in a world where bards exist, and despite all of his practice, and how good he is at being a musician, he has never had any type of magical ability as a result of it, and just finds it so frustrating that there's so many people out there that are bards and have magical ability, yet he has none. And actually gets really irritated with magical instruments because he thinks they ruin the sound of the tone quality of the wood in there. It's like, if you just got rid of that rune stone, that guitar would sound so much better. But over the years of just being frustrated over not having the magical ability, he's become a barbarian that has developed rage abilities that, not only because he is a blue dragonborn that causes lightning as a part of his show, he has he can at some points in times and certain times he gets bigger because he's on the path of the giants as his rage.
Nice.
And he has turned his music into a life of death metal. And he walks around. So he is also he's got the tavern brawler feat because he just now walks around carrying a bunch of musical instruments and just beats the crap out of people with them.
Does he have a
Valid.
guitar axe?
He does. He has a guitar axe. He has a great axe that is a guitar. He also has a battle lute, which is a thing. So he walks around with those, and just rages and beats the crap out of people, and he tells them to call him by his name as he beats them. He just
Say my
longs
name.
for people to be cheering for Crackus Griffin in large audiences.
Crack is quivering. Crack is quivering.
Yeah.
Guys made bards. I should have made a bard. Then we could just do a bards.
I didn't make a single bard.
But-
He's not a bard. He's a barbarian.
Right.
Oh yeah, his stats. He's a +3 in strength, +0 in dexterity, +1 in constitution, -1 in intelligence, +0 in wisdom, and +2 in charisma.
Nice. But yeah, you guys
So
made
he could
musical
roll-
people. I should have made somebody with music.
I bet you
My
Teddy
character's
Roosevelt
not a
plays
musical
instrument.
people.
He's
Well,
like a
but he's
musician,
a bard.
failed. That's what I think would be funny to have Crackus play with your bard, because you would have the magical abilities and be terrible at what you do. And he is good but can't play it, but he
Oh
has
my
no
goodness.
magical abilities as a
That'd be
bard
good.
at all.
That'd be fun.
You'd be like, so you guys know about rocks, and all of a sudden you like spew out magic, and he's like, what the crap was that?
What's up with this tavern food, right? I mean,
Nobody laughs, and all of a sudden it's just like charm person whips out of your hand. He's like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? And he just busts out into a rage and just starts beating people to death as a result of it. I think
Solid.
that would be a funny combination.
definitely
With
would
Teddy
be.
Roosevelt off to the side, shouting encouragement.
Just keep working at it.
Yep.
All right, so as we're coming to the end, what if we like pick which ones we like of each other's the most? Like me and Andy can say, I like this one, Adam. Ultimately, you guys can decide which ones you guys think.
I'm fine with it.
And Adam, can you tell us just real quick your 3 characters?
Recap.
Oh,
I had Shrek. I had the Doctor.
Okay.
And I had Theodore Roosevelt.
Okay. For recap, I had fake wizard Tarwick Big Man. I had failed comedian Fardus Loudbeard.
didn't catch his name before.
I don't think I said his name before. It's
Fardus
Fardus. So it's Fardus.
Loudbeard.
Loudbeard. And then Leo Barros.
Theo
Okay.
Barros, the stoner.
The stoner
Oh,
druid.
yeah. My 3 were, I had Brew Stonebeard, the Nancy Boy Rogue, Niv News, the Kobold Paladin,
Mm.
and Crackus Criverin, the musical barbarian. Okay.
All right, I'm gonna say Andrew.
Yeah.
I think depending on what characters get chosen, I feel like Crackus Quiverin is my favorite. But I feel like, what was the kobold's name?
Niv of New.
Niv of New would be a good pairing with, I think, Theodore Roosevelt.
Right.
But I think Crackus Quiverin is my favorite. Mainly to the
Okay.
name.
Yeah, I think for yours, Andrew, I kind of like the thought of you playing a emo Nancy boy.
Yeah.
Um,
Stu
But I-
Stonebeard or Brew. Bruce
Yeah,
Stonebridge.
but I do think though Krakus might be my favorite just because, and I think he'd be especially my favorite if he was paired up with my failed comedian.
Yeah,
I
Oh
think
my
that would
god.
be
good.
fantastic.
That would be good.
Um,
Andy, I think I like your stoner druid. That might be my favorite. I like the concept of the big man one, but I feel like if we're going a little bit more silly, a little more, I feel like the stoner druid would. I think he'd fit well with any of Andrew's characters, really. But yeah,
I do think my favorite of your characters as well is your stoner druid. I do also really like your failed comedian with Krakus, but I do think the stoner druid would also blend really well with that too.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
the the concept of being by a failed comedian with him is hilarious. But if I had if I had to say which one, I think you playing the stoner druid is a really funny idea for a one shot. Um,
yeah.
Adam, I'm kind of torn between Shrek and Teddy. If I'm being honest, I have a hard time picking between the two. I think the Doctor Rogue is a fun idea, but I think it needs to be fleshed out in more levels to really
right,
pull it off. Otherwise, it's just going to be like a rogue,
right.
like a straight rogue, and you won't be able to do the character as much justice as you want to do it.
Right.
Um, I feel like Shrek almost works better in the fantasy realm,
Probably.
but I'm also really intrigued as to how Teddy Roosevelt would go. Was Shrek, remind me, was Shrek just a fighter?
Yeah. A champion fighter.
Okay. Champion fighter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a choice to pick a character. You got to play Theodore Roosevelt. Like, I don't know if you have a choice. That is by far my favorite. Um, I agree with
And
Andrew about the doctor. Like, it's a good concept. Just might need a little bit more fleshed out. And Shrek. I mean, I love Shrek, but I also know you can't do an accent.
that's half the
Like we
reason I
found
want him
out.
to pick.
but but yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
I
think
would say
everybody
Teddy.
had some good options. Um, if I wouldn't have forgot to create my characters, I may have come up with some other stuff. But there's
I
always next time.
wish I wish I could have thought or would have been aware that we were also doing based off of character builds. I ran a D&D one shot with some friends around the holidays, and I made a bunch of characters that I thought that I hardly got to play in the one shot because it was like a 4 or 5 hour one shot, but I think would be wonderful. I made uh, Ralphie Parker from Christmas Story
Nice.
as a gunslinger.
Nice.
Is he
I
missing an eye? Is he older and just missing an
no,
eye?
he's not. No, he's just a kid. He was just a kid. I made the Grinch, who was a rogue, arcane trickster rogue,
Nice.
and I made
I
Santa
w-
Claus,
I would
which
have
is
almost made the Grinch an artificer, just because he's always building stuff, like his cave's full
Oh,
of
that's
his
true.
inventions.
yeah, but is it good stuff?
I mean,
It
it works.
works.
It doesn't look good, but
Eh,
it works.
Doesn't look good stuff.
If it don't look good, it works. It still works.
I mean, he's using garbage to make that stuff, so it's not
I
gonna
don't
look
feel like
great.
this stuff he's. I don't feel like this stuff he's making is necessarily magical.
I just didn't have access to it.
But as you put with Doctor Who, technology and magic.
Right. This is true. But even the technology piece on what the Grinch is making isn't that impressive.
Yeah.
He literally used a
He
dog to
Built
pull
a
the sleigh.
flying sled with a rocket
why-
engine out of garbage.
It didn't fly?
Yes, it did.
No.
No, it didn't
Not
fly.
once.
It just was like a rocket propelled
It was
sled.
pulled by the dog. It was rocket propelled.
It was pulled by the dog because he ran out of gas. The thing literally flew.
I don't.
Go back and watch the Jim Carrey version again.
No,
He
it did
literally
fly.
Flew from house
It
to
does
house.
fly. You're right. It does fly. I remember now.
He literally hovers to
Yep.
land onto a house.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Maybe he is an artificer.
My
Nonetheless,
kids have made me watch that movie like 100
Dude,
times.
I love that.
I think I know.
Dude,
if it
when I was
works or
in
flies.
Freshman year of band, my teacher, anytime he didn't feel like having us play, he'd put on a movie, and the only VHS he had was Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Jim Carrey.
We literally watched
That's
that
a
one.
fantastic movie.
Yeah, we
but
watched that
still.
movie like 6 times that year.
If you want to see something fun though, is look up just delve deep into some homebrewed Santa Claus builds because they're pretty fantastic.
Oh,
There's some
I
pretty
just-
creative people
I
out
can
there.
imagine.
I would just make the robot Santa from Futurama.
Oh, well, you could do that.
That would be hilarious. Warforged.
Death Santa.
That would be.
Okay.
All right, new
All
character
right.
idea.
So are we waiting to see if what comes in? Are we going to get socials up to put a poll on this, or are we going to call it with our votes?
I mean, I don't know. Probably call it with our votes for now. I mean, I don't know if I have the
We can
time
wait.
to get
It's not like we're going to be doing anything else.
right.
It's that we're
It's
going to
true.
do this next week. We're not starting to play next week.
That's true.
We'll discuss it later.
At a
Yep.
later date.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for our latest installment of 3 Nerds Deep. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for those of you who are watching. We really appreciate the support. Please like, comment, share. Please let us know if you like the episode. Please let us know if you're interested in us recording a D&D one shot. Just let us know. We really appreciate you guys, especially through all the issues with audio quality. With that, we are out.
See ya.
Reader Deep.